Bears and Their Dens by Linda Taliaferro with Gail Saunders Smith as a consulting editor. Bears and Their Dens. Ooh, there's the table of contents telling me about each section. Dens. Bears sleep deeply during the cold winter. They sleep in dens. And what's our special word for that deep sleep? Right, we've talked about hibernation, but didn't we read that bears actually do what's called torpor? Yeah, torpor is not as deep a sleep as hibernation because bears tend to wake up several times during the winter. Good. Bears make dens in hollow trees, in caves, and under large rocks. Bears sometimes dig new dens in the fall. That one looks like it's under a tree, yeah. Most polar bears dig dens in the snow. Some black bears sleep inside hollow trees. A cute polar bear with its babies. Some bears take only a few hours to dig dens. Other bears take several days. Cubs. Female bears usually have 2 cubs. The cubs are born in the den. Newborn cubs cannot see. They have little fur. Newborn cubs stay warm in the den. Look at that tiny thing. It doesn't even look like a bear, does it? Cubs hide safely from predators in the den. Cubs also rest in the den. And you remember what predators are. They would be the animals that would try to hunt a certain animal. And of course, baby bears might be something that a predator could catch. So they stay in the den to stay safe. Cubs grow quickly. They explore outside the den. This is a different kind of bear, that kind with that white. Might be a Kodiak bear. Oh, it says it's a grizzly bear cub. I stand corrected. I see that there's a label there. It says a grizzly bear cub. I did not know they would have a white collar like that. A good place to rest. Dens are good places for bears to rest and stay warm. Bears and their cubs leave their dens in spring. And that's the end. And here is our glossary. And you remember that's like a little dictionary that gives me what different words mean that I found in the book. And you know how I feel about you looking up words. If you find a word that you don't know, I want you to look it up. So if you had read that word hollow and you thought to yourself, what in the world do they mean by hollow? Let's look and see what it means. Hollow, having an empty space inside. So something that is hollow has an open space on the inside. Of course, you know what the word sleep means. You don't have to look that up. And we also, in the back of this book, since it's a nonfiction book, we have an index. And our index tells us where information is in the book. So if I wanted to look up one particular thing without having to read the whole book, I just wanted to know one page I should read. If I wanted to know about bears in spring, then I would come to the index, and it's in ABC order, so I would go through the alphabet until I got up to the spring. There's say, S-A, and then there's S-E, and there's S-L, and then S-N, and then S-P, spring. So I should look on page what? 20. Great. So I'm going to go to page 20. I see that it mentions spring because it tells me that that's the time of year when bears leave their dens. They leave their homes. All right, let's look up one more thing. I'm going to ask you to find me a place where they talk about digging or dig. look up the word dig. So I know it's near the beginning of the alphabet. Whoa, dig, look. They talk about digging on page, and page, and page. So I would have to look on all 3 of those pages to find out about bears digging. If I wanted to know, I'd have to look on all 3 pages. So there's page 6, where they list the word dig when they talk about the word digging, when they're digging new dens in the fall. On page 8, it tells me that polar bears dig their dens in snow. And on page 10, it tells me that some bears dig their dens really quickly, and other bears take a few days to dig their dens. So that's our nonfiction book, and I'll show you the extra information if you're interested in looking up bears and learning more about them. There are a couple of books about bears, and there's that internet site called FactHound if you're interested in some more information. Good job!